Tell us a little
He's got
bit
really good
about
hair.
this new role. I mean, how much are you relating to this guy a lot? Like, are you?
No, Milo is Captain Sensitive, and he gets his heart broken in the opening scene. The guys spend a little time trying to get him back on his feet. He's a character that's a couple of my friends, two of my best friends are this kind of guy, and I make fun of them every day. So now I'm on the receiving end of that. Yeah, tables have turned. Yeah, you know, he's a nice kid, and I'm an asshole, so it kind of works out perfect.
So does that make you kind of the punchline a lot of times in these first few episodes?
Yeah, you know, he's not the whipping boy, but you know, there's sort of a running joke of guys asking him how he's doing or what's going on or how does he feel, and every time he tries to get out how he feels, they ignore him. Like, oh yeah, it's great. Anyway, moving on. And so, you know, and he's had his girl for years and years and expected to marry her, and breaks up with her, and literally an hour later they're like, thank God, let's get right back on there, you know what I mean? And he's like, guys, it's been an hour. So, yeah.
So I was saying that this character is nothing like you. Like it's sort of surprising to see you in this role. So how did you, what drew you to this role?
I got drawn to the project by Brecken, who's a great actor and a friend of mine, and I know him also from Robot Chicken. We've done episodes of that, and he writes on that show. And he just sort of wrote a cool show. It was 4 guys, and it reminded me of like a male Sex and the City, but it's a sitcom instead of a single camera. And so it just seemed like a fun job to do. I thought that the writing would be really good. I liked the other actors who were involved. And it's a complete opposite from Hyde, which is, you know, the character I played on my last job. So I thought, why not give it a shot and see if it gets picked up, and if it does, see if it goes for a couple of years, and if it does, you know, we can do more roundtables.
What is it about the sitcom formula that keeps you coming back?
It's by far the most fun job in Hollywood. You know, doing a 1-hour drama is brutal work, especially if you're in every scene. And doing the live show, you know, it's like doing theater, but you get paid more. It's really fun. You know, we have a live audience. There's 200-300 people there every Friday night, and you know, doing 70 shows is like being at summer camp. Like, we just spent all day playing grab ass and making fun of each other, and then pull it together to, you know, try to memorize somebody's dialogue for Friday night. So it's just a job that I enjoy doing, and I think the people who end up being good at it have decent timing, and because I don't consider myself particularly funny, but I think I have decent timing if somebody writes me good jokes, and so it's, you know, pays the mortgage.
Can you talk about how the format of the show is? Because in the first episode he sort of gets dumped.
Right.
And where do we go from there?
I don't know. I haven't read the script yet.
All right.
You know, I think that the season is not going to be about him being depressed over his ex-girlfriend. She will come back, you know, probably as soon as he gets back on his feet, to kick the feet out from underneath him, kick his legs out. Sorry. But I think it's, you know, just sort of. Adam said something very interesting where, like, if these 4 guys all make one kind of perfect person, but separately they're all have their super big issues, and so, you know, I think you'll get basically just be a million problems, because problems are funny, and friends getting hurt's funny, and, you know, anything that's sort of depressing ends up being funny, and that's what I expect of the first season.
So
but yeah, that'd be a better question for Breckenmeyer.
Well, male Sex in the City, so you're Charlotte.
No, well, no. I mean, a little bit. I think that Adam Bush's character is Charlotte. You know, where he's like the really good, sensitive, you know, the one who's locked down, that kind of thing. We kind of put Milo more with Carrie, where it's like, you know, as he starts doing well, he gets kicked down again, and the relationships kind of falter. So yeah, that was sort of how we worked it out. But I only noticed that when I saw the pilot for the second time, and I was like, oh my God, this is like Sex and the City, weird, which I hadn't thought of when I read it, when I read the script.
They're not making you wear Manolo Blahniks, are they?
I hope so. I have great legs, like a female supermodel.
So a show like this about, you know, core friendship kind of lives and dies with that friendship and whether or not the audience believes it. So how did you guys go about finding the bromance, so to speak, or the chemistry?
I took them to my house in Utah on a hot air balloon trip, and we spent every day for a week in a hot air balloon, discussing life's problems and what we could do to change the world. We drank wine, we ate cheese, and we bonded.
No, really.
I'll take that answer.
Really?
It's on video. It looks
Really?
serious. Mm-hmm.
Would I lie to you?
Is there a specific episode that you have coming up that you really want audiences to see?
I don't know because I haven't read any of the scripts.
Oh.
They won't give us any. The actors we're like the monkeys, So we just go where we're told, and they're like, perform, monkey. So at this point, we're just sort of waiting to get our scripts and find out who we are and what we do. And so, yeah, better questions for the boss, which is Mr. Meyer, which you're actually on set not allowed to look at him in the eyes. He's got that whole thing going on, like Van Damme and Stallone.
So if you're not like this character, if you're more sort of on the
I don't think so.
Do
you think so?
End, I don't know yet.
Okay.
So here's the question. So what do you do to pull in more of the sensitive stuff and the
two of my best friends, Luke Watson and Justin Peroff, are this guy. They are like Captain Sensitives, and so I just think about when I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? I just do that now.
Do you feel that it's affecting you and bringing that more into your life? Not at all.
No, I shed the character Friday night. As soon as we're done taping, boom, back to an angry Irish guy from Long Island.
Good answer.
Thanks.
Well, in the first season, I would imagine that a show like this would have ample opportunity to throw in a lot of female guest stars for the guys to mix it up with. Maybe not so much for your character, though.
No, I think there will be, and I think that hopefully the dates go terribly wrong. I think that we'll have a lot of that stuff. Maybe he gets the stomach gurgles or whatever. Whatever the worst case scenario dating stories you can have.
So you don't
I'm hoping happen to Milo.
You don't think it's too soon for him to try to get back out there, or
no, he's going to try to get back out there, but he's just not ready.
Okay.
And every time that he thinks he is ready, I'm sure something will go wrong. So, that's my hope.
You like seeing that happen to the character?
Yeah. It's just, it's like that we have one of my favorite lines from 70 Show is, it's funny when friends get hurt. And it's just like, it is. It's just funny when friends get, like, it's so funny. Because you have to make fun of that person. So now I get to be the one, he's very upset over there. It's not funny when friends get hurt. But it really is. It is. And so that's sort of where the comedy will come from, I hope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know when you should be receiving your first script?
Well, we start shooting April 16th. Okay. We premiere May 24th. I'm assuming probably a week or two before, so probably April 1st or April 7th-ish is usually how it works, just to get it a week before. I know that they're busy writing, but they haven't told me anything. Not because it's a top secret, West Wing type of show, but they just haven't bothered to tell me what I'm doing this season. I'm expecting some full frontal, so that's good. Michael Cassidy started working out. He's doing P90X, so he's going to be we're going to have his shirt off a lot. So that's exciting. James already is buff, so that's depressing. So, yeah.
Well, if you had to turn it around, which of the other guys do you think is most like their character? Which could be a good or bad thing.
I think those guys all sort of play similar characters to themselves. It's like one of those things when you're casting a show and you're auditioning, for people kind of have that sort of personality generally when they book that role. It's not often is it an exact opposite. Every once in a while, but James is like, he's a bit of a ladies' man in terms of he's so charming, but he's also such a beautifully nice person. So unlike his character where he's a little more abrasive, James I've known him for 10 years. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and always happy. He's so energetic and happy to see you, and happy to he actually cares what's up, not like, hey man, how you been, good to see you. He wants to know what you're doing and how are things, and he's an interesting storyteller. And I hadn't met Michael or Adam before, but Adam's very, very funny. He's great at stand-up, and he's witty, and he's got the whole Woody Allen neurosis thing going. He's really funny at that. And then Michael's just a super nice dude as well. He's a family man, and but we're just gonna make him into Brad Pitt. He's working out now. We're gonna wax his chest. He's got the blonde
hair
flowing.
That, or
no, these are our plans for
him.
Can you tell me 3 of your favorite TV shows and why?
Yes. Children's Hospital is my favorite comedy because it is funnier than anything on TV. Mad Men is my favorite drama. When I watch it, I think to myself that show's better than any movie I've ever seen. Like, it just blows my mind how real and amazing it is. And then I just got on the Downton Abbey kick. Have you guys ladies done that? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so good. So my wife and I just watched both seasons in we got in bed at midnight. Like, let's watch one episode. 8 a.m. And then we did it again the following night, like junkies. We're like, stay up all night, we're crackheads, man. And we watched, and that show was amazing. Like, it's a. If someone was pitching to me, it's an English British soap opera about the royalty and the people who work below them, and that's not something that appeals to me at all. But that show's so well made, very well written. The actors are great, and each episode reminded me of when I watched Lost because I kind of wait for a series to be over, and then I'll watch them, on airplanes and stuff. Where Lost, and you're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? And I kept feeling that with Downton Abbey, and now it's not coming out again until 2013. Is that fucking awful?
Did you get your hands on their Christmas episode as well?
Yeah, of course.
So you mentioned that you had 2 friends that are like your character.
Yeah.
But did you have a dynamic where you hung out with guys like you were going to do on the show? Is that something that you could relate?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of really good friends. I grew up in New York, and I have a ton of friends in New York, and I have a ton of friends here. And everybody always has their role of, he's the crazy one, and he's the womanizer, and he's the sensitive guy, and so I think that's the thing about this show is everybody can, it seems very real to them, like they're watching normal people. It's like we're not shooting Third Rock from the Sun, which is one of the greatest shows ever made, but it's a fantasy. This is a little more reality, I think.